In example 4, we need to solve for 0 degrees to 360 for theta. Quite a big range there, or domain, if you'd care to say that. But let's see if we can get it done. So first of all, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing cosine, cosine, and sine. It doesn't really matter which way you go, but I think it's going to be easier if we change this sine out for something that's that has a cosine in it. So remember one of your Pythagorean identities, the sine squared is going to be equal to 1 minus the cosine squared. If you do cosine squared plus sine squared is equal to 1, then subtract cosine squared, you get this. So we're going to rewrite this one. Cosine squared minus the cosine plus 1 is equal to 1 minus cosine squared. We'll add cosine squared and subtract 1 from each side, I think. So we'll see, we'll do that. Add a cosine squared. We did this correctly. Our goal is just to get 0 on the right hand side. So we have 2 cosine squareds minus a cosine is equal to 0. Some students at this point would say, well, hey, let's just move the cosine over here and divide by cosine. Well, don't do that, because you're going to be ignoring a possible answer if you divide by the variable or something with the variable in it. So what you need to do is you need to factor out a cosine of alpha. So we've got 2 cosine alpha minus 1 here. If we distributed back out, we'd have cosine squared and then negative cosine alpha. And then we're going to set each one of these factors equal to 0. So the cosine of alpha could be 0, or 2 cosine of alpha minus 1 could be 0. We'll add 1 here. That'll be gone. Then we'll divide by 2. So the cosine of alpha is 1/2, positive 1/2, or 0. Now, if we look at this cosine of alpha is 0, we want to find some angles between 0 and 360 that have an x value of 0. One that jumps to my mind right now is 90. Another one is 270. And you can verify this on your unit circle or in your calculator if you prefer. And another one that we need to look at here is this cosine of alpha is 1/2. The cosine is the x value, and the x value is 1/2. That's 60. Also, we need to look in the fourth quadrant that has an angle that has the same reference angle as 60, and that's going to be 300. It's not totally necessary, but when I write my final answer, I prefer to write lower to higher. So we're going to go 60, 90, 270, or 300. All of these angle measures will make this equation true. And you can verify that if you'd like to by utilizing, you would utilize just your calculator, is what I mean to say here.